Hell y'all, this is Disaster, Death of Peace, a mod for Hearts Mind 4 that is set in a world where the negotiations for the Treaty of Versailles broke down, causing the existing post-war chaos in Europe to spiral out of control. Let's summarize each major country's current situation, starting with the USA, which has plunged into instability. France had a military coup, Germany had a government change, and now there is an aristocratic republic in Prussia. Moving on from that, the Russian Civil War entered into a stalemate period, and the United Kingdom fell into decline. Oh, and Turkey collapsed. With that out of the way, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. All it takes is less than a second. We are going to play as the Western Revolutionary Front, one of the many factions that is fighting for control in Anatolia, and it is led by Mustafa Kemal Pasha and his line of thought, known as Kemalism. Status of the Republic. After the Istanbul Treaty was signed, the area known as Asia Minor fell under foreign hands, and Mustafa Kemal planned an uprising against this in 1925 but was busted by a British colonial police force. Many were arrested in the raid, but Kemal and some others did get away. In the time since then, between 1927 and 1933, through the power of guerrilla warfare, the Western Revolutionary Front took over most of Western Turkey. Moving on to present day, the Pasha seeks to unify the country, but he also must be wary of an internal problem in the form of the linguist movement. We begin with 6 national spirits, and these are legacy of the First War, Kemal's army, Sons of Liberty, Tekalif economy, the Turkish struggle front, and fratricide. The WRF leads a faction referred to as the TSF, and its members besides us are the Thracian Defense Council and the Adana Brigade. Our initial military force is made up of 9 infantry divisions. All of them are pretty normal except for Kemal Pasha's own, which I want to assume are elite troops. Looking at our commanders, we got 3 generals and 1 field marshal, which is pretty alright when you consider the size of our army. Inspecting the military tech, we got up-to-date weapons, motorized 1934 year light tanks, basic artillery and anti-air, and as for aircraft, we got close air support, naval bombers, fighters, and tactical bombers. We do have a focus tree with some very nice GFX, not gonna lie, but anyway, let's get that started by completing Under the Crescent, Lessons of the Revolt, Artillery Doctrines, Ajan Teshkalata, The Old Disciplined, and Manisa Congress. World news, the Caucasian War is underway, and besides that, so is the Great Russian War. The palace of the Governor General of the Italian colony in Anatolia got bombed, which is somewhat relevant to us. I think so anyway. That's interesting. The Eurasian revolt in Siberia is fighting the Transbaikal host of Cossacks. To the north of us, across the Black Sea, the Kievan War has started between the Free Territory and the Ukrainian People's Republic. In East Asia, Mao Zedong declares a revolution and starts fighting the KMT-affiliated Empire of China. Armenia got annexed by the Caucasus Islamic Brigade, who is one of the many players in post-collapse Anatolia. After getting out of one conflict, the brigade is eager to get into another one, it seems, as they are now clashing with Kurdistan. The Levantine War starts in the Middle East. This is basically a fight between the Army of Zion and the Palestinian Liberation Army. The Manisa Congress is taking place, and this is where plans for the nation's future are being made. 2 groups clash with each other, and these are the Kemalist and the linguist. We can side with one of these parties, and we are going to go with the latter. And because of that, we'll gain 1 political power, as well as an increase in popularity for the revolutionary nationalist ideology. The Mandate of Anatolia has fallen apart, and Azerbaijan submits to Envash, who is the leader of the Caucasus Brigade. What is left in the aftermath of the fall of the Mandate are 5 countries, and these are Ankara, Zonguldak, the SOA, the 78th Army, and the Steel Republic. The Ankara Kemalist force declared war on the Zonguldak Republic. We'll be keeping a close eye on how this develops. In the focus tree, we did a focus that when translated to English means Turkish Liberation Army, and another one called the Iron Pasha. Now we're going to do a close friend, Operation Fatan Signiki, Tikali Familia, Simpakash to Rome, and taking back Smyrna. Operation Lydius took place. Essentially, we had some scouts go into Italian Anatolia and document the misdeeds that are being done there. We'll use the information we acquired to our advantage when we start talking with the Italian government. Pekash went to Rome, the capital of the futurist Italian fascist country, and got a deal made with the Italian statesman known as Benito Mussolini. Basically, we will annex the colony, and in return, Kemalist Turkey will become a close ally to Italy in return. The Revolutionary Front has expanded in terms of territory thanks to recent events, which is nice. Just so you can see what it looks like, here is the Italian Social Republic and its leader Gabriele D'Annunzio. Also, Benito Mussolini is in charge of the electoral prefecture of Libya. I assume he is like its governor or something. Due to the recent annexation of Antalya, the Adana Brigade has kindly decided to have itself be absorbed into the WRF. The Palestinian Liberation Army managed to defeat Sion, and now they are going for Syria and their ally, Iraq, in order to realize their dream of creating a unified Arab nation. I just now noticed the Protectorate of Egypt, a puppet of the UK, is led by Oswald Mosley. I have no words to describe how I feel about this. The battle for Smyrna has started. Taking the city will be easy because no one seems to be defending it, but defeating all of Greece itself will prove to be more of a challenge. The Greeks have arrived to stop us from taking the Aegean Islands. I'm not sure how big their army is as a whole, but it would probably be a good idea to try and push them back before they get reinforcements. The United Arab Republic has been formed in Palestine, even though they haven't beat Syria and Iraq yet. The move seems a little bit premature, to be honest. The 78th Army starts being aggressive with us. Good thing we don't share a border with Greece currently, or we would potentially be in a two-front war. Turning our attention back to the Greeks, we are going to have to push through Thrace and then Macedonia, and finally into the enemy heartland. We captured Athens. Hopefully Greece will lay down their guns and surrender, as I don't see us getting to Crete anytime soon. That is that. We got Smyrna and the Aegean Islands. Meanwhile, the Thracian Defense Council was given Central Macedonia and more of Thrace. Now that we own a certain place, we can do the focus named The Enemies Within. The linguists hold a majority in the assembly. Is this a new wave of totalitarianism and death of liberation, or is it a great rebirth? We'll find out soon, maybe. The Caucasus Brigade starts a war somewhere, but more relevant to us is a linguist march taking place in the city of Smyrna. They're pushing their political agenda and creating unrest. The Pasha's infiltrators and the linguist ranks have located a secret weapon stash. Clearly an uprising is being prepared. In response to this, the leader of the Western Revolutionary Front shall send men out to guard the streets. The linguists have occupied the university in Smyrna. The local Greek population have ran away, believing they will be slaughtered. Adding to this, the Kemalist youth wing in the city have been brutalized. To handle this threat, the entire Kemalist Pasha circle, along with Mustafa Kemal, will go and put an end to this. After a costly amount of guerrilla warfare, WRF forces breached occupied areas, but all did not go well. Mustafa Kemal Pasha fell in the fighting, and so his cause is lost. Due to this, many of the surviving soldiers have chosen to defect to the linguist, and this will result in their victory. World news goes out that the linguist coup has succeeded. Their aims are to create a Turkish people's government that will unify all citizens into one goal. Totalitarian terror is expected. Alright, we got a new flag, a new leader with a kind of glitching portrait, and the ruling ideology is now revolutionary nationalist. Our leader is Nihal Atsis. Who was he in real life? Well, he was a ultranationalist, writer, poet, philosopher, novelist, and historian. He self-identified as a racist, Pan-Turkist, and tyrannist. While apparently his views on Mustafa Kemal Ataturk changed over the years, he was not a big fan of the ideology of Kemalism. Among other things, he criticized Islam at one point, was accused of being a Nazi sympathizer, and plotting to overthrow the government. With the change in power, we can now do some more focuses, so let's complete the Tuchanka Pact, Atsis's motive, Warriors of Judea, and the Pearl. The Songoldak Republic has attacked us. Also, the government assembly has been set up. Turnus sieged a city formerly known as Constantinople, and because of that, we annexed the Istanbul Ottoman British district. The Caucasus Brigade joins us without a fight, and oh, would you look at that, the Palestinian Liberation Army actually managed to create a true united Arab Republic. Zonguldak is defeated. The only obstacle left in our way to making Anatolia united is the Caliphate. the caliphate will somehow be integrated without any bloodshed, all thanks to the creation of some Islamic myths all about the warriors of Judea and the tribe Muhammad is from. Due to how nice everyone has been when it comes to helping the Turkish People's Government, we now have a whopping 34 divisions in the army. Since we now have all the prerequisites, let's activate the Consolidate Full Power decision to give ourselves a new focus tree. It's official. Turkey has been reunited by Nihalatsis and his supporters. In the new focus tree, we are going to do Triumph of the Will, Conquerors of the East, the new Subutais, Conquerors of the West, Honic Bureaucracy, and then eventually we will get around to completing Their ideas do not abide us, their laws do not abide us, and we, the conquerors. Neat, a super event about Turkey being unified, and there's a quote from Adolf Hitler. Why am I not surprised? The new order. The great leader wants to ensure his rule shall remain unquestioned, and with that, one of his first actions will be to ban every other political party and replace them with his own loyalist-led political movement. In the East, Armenians have started protesting what they refer to as an occupation. A battle at Yerevan happened, and besides that, the government claims that Slavs are apparently Turks in denial. Okay then. An Armenian uprising against us has started. We will have to use some soldiers to deal with this issue. To secure the reign of the new order, a militant organization known as the Subutais has been formed. Saying that the Slavs are Turks wasn't enough, it seems, because now the People's Government claims that the many Germanic peoples are also Turks. The Armenian national movement has been defeated. The new order shall remain. We have a lot of ground to cover in the focus tree, so I'm going to go through these quickly. We are going to complete Core of War, Sons of Destruction, Dehumanize the Enemy, Animal Instincts Doctrine, Ironheart's Program, Cult of the Warrior Chief, and Armed Nightmare, Discipline Equals Freedom, and Rabid Sons of Eurasia. More stuff to do. Let's do a foreign policy focus relating to Bedouins, and then after that, we will complete a lesson of the revolt, Caligula's administration, Wolfic society, and fear is key. We are invading the UAR, aka the United Arab Republic. They weren't really expecting us, so it shouldn't be too hard to overwhelm them. Back in the focus tree, we're going to do something about a purge, the TUKS, and the remnants, and then we'll do this big branch here in the middle. In Western Europe, something is going on with what I think is National Bolshevik Germany. They are fighting the Kingdom of the Netherlands. We're going to complete Commissariat Systems and the Caucasus Blitz. That second one will give us a chance to do battle with a certain man in the Georgian worker state. With Commissariat Systems done, we now have access to some decisions that let us create entities similar to the Reich Commissariats of the historical German Reich. Let's start with the one in the Levant. The Levant Avamyönetimi is born. Its leader is a man who in real life founded the far-right nationalist movement party in Turkey. We are striking at the Georgian workers' state. This shouldn't be too difficult because our enemy only has 22 divisions at most, according to the intel. More foreign policy. We are going to do Shah Ismail's revenge, the Eastern campaigns, and a focus that will make us declare war on Afghanistan and Bharat. Just as we invade Iran, Germany decides to invade Poland. Talk about timing. The moment has come to create another commissariat. Oh boy, the Aryan Avam Commissariat has been created. The man in charge of it historically was a Turkish general who is maybe best known for helping suppress a Kurdish nationalist rebellion in 1925. The next targets on our list are Afghanistan, Bharat, and the Central Asian nations of Turkestan and the Tehran Federation. The territories of the two countries that we defeated in our most recent wars have been given to the Aryan Avam Commissariat. In the focus tree, we're going to do Returning Home, and then we will make our way to China by completing the Eurasian campaign, and Genghis rises again. The workers' state of Germany is going after Austria and its neighbors. Good thing the Austrians had the Ustarspeer faction on their side. Thanks to Genghis rises again, we find ourselves at war with the People's Republic of China, Saibei-Sema, Mongolia, Songaria, the Mongolian Expeditionary Force led by Bernard Montgomery for some reason, and Xinjiang. Austria lost their conflict evidently because there is now an event about the National Socialists uniting Germany. I guess maybe they aren't National Bolsheviks like I thought earlier, but honestly, I am unsure. The Turkish-Chinese War drags on. Never thought I'd use that combination of words in a sentence, but here we are. The Germans are making moves on the Czechs. Also, apparently, they have a puppet in the Baltics. There may possibly even be a German-Russian war in the future, but before that happens, some kind of action may be taken with the buffer states of Belarus and Ukraine. Actually, never mind, no war in the East for the Germans, I guess, because now they are fighting the French. After a long, hard fight, we forced China to capitulate, and because of that, we can finally use the Revenge of Khurshid decision. The Yuan Khaganate has been formed in East Asia. Its leader is a man who in real life was part of the dictatorial triumvirate known as the Three Pashas. Also, he was convicted for war crimes. The next major opponent for the Turkish People's Government is the mighty Russia, who has a staggering 261 divisions. To ready ourselves for the coming war, we are going to train as many divisions as possible, 42 at a time, until we are out of manpower or close to out of it. We have 174 units, which is a pretty hefty amount, but in comparison, Russia now at minimum has 400 plus. So I think we are going to be at a disadvantage no matter what we do. The strategy for this soon-to-be grand struggle is we make a wall in the Caucasus with land forts while we try to advance from literally everywhere else, flipping the conscription law to scraping the barrel right away. Better safe than sorry. We are making progress. As for casualties, we have 171,000, and our foe has more than 1 million at this point. Our forces from the east are getting closer to the ones at the Caucasian offensive line, so we might as well try to push out and keep the Russian troops there busy until they get encircled. We have triumphed. Let's annex all of Russia. I forgot to mention this earlier, but we are also fighting Finland. It is what it is, though. We are going to activate the decision, the Dark Horde, and then you will see why we took over all of Russia. The Dark Horde now exists as a country. The person who rules it is historically a Tatar Bolshevik revolutionary who is considered the architect of Muslim national communism. That was the Turkish New Order. It's how to describe it? It's an experience. I'll just say that. The video is going to stop here. If you enjoyed the mod, check it out in the description below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. Don't forget to leave a comment because it helps the algorithm recommend the video more. Have an awesome day. I'll see you later. Bye.